Well, g'day everybody, and welcome to Project Hospital. I've watched this game, or not watched it, but I've had it on my radar for since it came out. I think, geez, I can't even remember how far away that was and how long ago it was, but I never actually committed to it. But I'd just like to thank Wendy for donating this to the channel. Wendy's one of our YouTube subscribers and also a Twitch sub. She's donated it because she'd like to see me play this on the channel, so I thought I'd give it a few episodes and see how it goes. I don't know. I did play the tutorial, one part of the tutorial, just to get a little bit of a gist of the building and stuff like that. I'm kind of working things out. I don't, as you guys know, I don't normally come into games having a good understanding of the mechanics or how they work, and I usually work it out as I go. And quite honestly, I don't really think this is any different, really. To be honest, I'm probably going to do the same thing. What I have worked out, though, is that I am going to do a sandbox. And the reason why I'm going to do a sandbox is because it gives us the opportunity to start from scratch. The sandbox doesn't mean that that you don't spend money on building and you don't have to watch your finances and all that type of stuff. It just means that you're basically starting something from scratch rather than going through scenarios in a campaign. Wendy also provided the hospital services DLC as well, as part of the donation, so thank you very much for that. Now what I think we might do is we might go a 96 by 96 empty field, which will eventually give us a medium-sized hospital. There is no way we are going to be able to start with a medium-sized hospital. This might take a while, so let's get into it. Let's click on new game there. I have turned the sound off on here. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I should be clicking start. Patients can die, yes. Unlock all departments, no. I want to unlock those as I go. And free building, meaning building doesn't cost you anything. I am not going to keep that on. I want to try and work through these finances. So let's hit start on this and give it a go. I'm actually kind of looking forward to this. I am using a new recording setup, and so hopefully everything works out quite well. Have the music turned off in the game, as I always do when I'm doing YouTube stuff, for copyright reasons and the possibility of copyright strikes with music in games, which I still think is absolutely ridiculous. If you've got a game and you've got music in it, then people who are promoting your game by playing that game should not be penalized, but unfortunately they are. So all right, so what we're going to do is we are going to start this off just by, you can see our little our area here. Now this area over here is where ambulances will be dropping patients off once we get further into the game, but at this point in time I think we're miles away from that, absolutely miles. We're going to start our clinic right here, and it is going to be very, very, very small. We've got a $100,000 budget that we start with, and you may think that that's quite a lot, but it is not. It is definitely not a lot. So the first thing that I want to do here is I won't go into the mechanics of the game or anything like that, but I will talk about them kind of as I go and talk through what I'm doing. So if I go into building mode here, you can see that we've got foundations or add a new floor. Building foundations is what you really want to do in the first instance when it comes to your hospital, or as we're doing when it comes to your surgery, which is we're basically going to be doing a GP surgery to start off with. So what I want to do is I want to start off with just a small reception, nothing overly large. And on top of that, at the back of that, I would like to put a couple of possibly one single GP office and leave enough room to sort of move into another GP office. We also need to have toilets here as well. So with a GP office, I think maybe something like 7 by 7, 8 by 7. Let's do an 8 by 7 for our GP's office. And in regards to a toilet, we only need a very, very small toilet block. For starters, I think maybe 2 toilets. So we might go 6 by 6 for that. And that will basically, and as you can see, that's cost us almost 11 grand, $10,500 just to put the foundations in. So, so you can see how, how difficult it is probably going to be for us at this point in time. Okay, so I think that's probably a good layout. We can have a doctor's office here. We can have a reception area here, and we can have toilets there basically. So that's a good start. That's a good start. Now, in regards to walls, what you see is what you get. So if we're putting a wall in across here, then we want to put in a wall that looks like an external wall right through there, because we're going to see it. If we're putting a wall across here, because it's an indoor, and down there as well, it is we are going to see it, so it needs to be an internal wall, if you understand what I mean. So what I want to do for starters is, I think I'm going to try and color everything up in some sort of a sense. And what I mean by coloring everything up is, later on when we expand and we become a hospital, I want different departments to have, and different different types of services to have different colors. So I think what I am going to do for a GP's office is probably go in the teal or the green, most likely the green color, I think. So I am going to do the internal walls for the GP in green, basically. Now, so they're the only you cannot rotate this camera around at all. So they're the only internal walls that I am going to see on the GP's office. In regards to tiles, we are going to see tiles in the bathroom area here on those 2 walls. And for the reception, I think I might go, I might just go this horrible beigey color. I don't like beige. I don't like a beigey color, but I am going to do it. So we were going to see that wall, and we are going to see that wall in the beige, basically. And that is all we will see. Now, for the external part of the building, these can be upgraded at some point. There's a coloured exterior wall, brick bottom or a brick top. Well, I don't know. I'm a little bit iffy about what I am going to do there. So I'm just going to go just the old brick with a concrete plinth down the bottom. So we will fill these walls in here and down there and down there. Now we can click these buttons down the bottom to reduce the walls. And what I will do is I will put a horrible beige wall across the front of the toilets as well, which I forgot about. So there you go. Now, if I bring that up there, you can see the layout that we have, and I have messed up here already. So I will click on delete walls, and I will delete that section, and then I will add that external wall in there. There you go. We have a small but hopefully functional GP's office. We're sitting on 88,000 in the bank. The other thing that I do want to do which I didn't really think of at this point in time, is I probably want to put a corridor down here. And the reason why I do is because I'm going to need to add another GP's office at some point. So let's go into foundations. And I think I will do these corridors at 3 wide. Will 3 wide be enough? Or I think 3 wide will probably be enough, yes. I probably put a little bit, probably went 1 too far in there. So I can probably actually, oh, it's not doing that. Add perimeter walls, dynamite everything. No, we don't want to do that. Bulldoze walls and objects. Okay, I can't figure out how I am to do that, so I'm just going to leave that there. Let's go back into building walls again. GP's office, back into the green. We might do a green wall down here, like so. Green wall across there, and of course that lovely modern brick wall there. And no, I am only joking when I say modern brick wall. All right, next thing is we need a doorway going into the the GP's office here, and a doorway from reception going into that area there. So we can do that by I think perhaps a do we do a glass door? Do we perhaps do a glass door in there opening inwards? That, yeah, I think that'll probably be all right. Actually, it's an internal door. It's only going into a corridor, so it's not too bad. Let's see, let's put in a glass window down the end there. Let's put in some double glass doors or double glass sliding doors. I think we'll put in double glass sliding doors, and we shall plonk that there, which should be okay. A little bit of glass in the reception area, one down there, one down there. So it does have a little bit of a design element to it as well. Which I don't find too bad, to be honest. I do not find that to be too bad at all. The other thing that we do need is a door into the GP's office. And I think we will put that door right there. And the reason why I'm putting that door right there is because I'm trying to keep a little bit of fast flow going into the doctor's office there, because as you will notice, and as I noticed when I did the first tutorial in this, they are very slow. People are very, very slow. So I think that's probably a good start for a GP's building. The last thing that I do want to do is I want to go into floors, and I want to go into this paving, and I want to create paving down here, like so. So everybody can come in through here. That's no worries. That's not a problem. People can come off the car park as well. So we'll put a little bit there, and yeah, off the footpath as well. And we will put a garden along here at some point. But at this point in time, I'm not overly concerned about a garden. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee, guys. So if you can bear with me, that would be awesome. Okay, beautiful. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to define rooms. To define rooms, we go into, where are we? This mode here, which is management mode. Now you can see some of the rooms that we require. A rest room, we've got corridors, we've got waiting rooms, and we have doctors' offices and reception. First thing that I want to do is I want to create a little reception area right here. And that'll give us enough room to have a reception desk, some office equipment and some filing and stuff like that. So that should be okay. The next thing that we want to do is we want to have a waiting room. Now the waiting room, and I do like these. You can see these black shaded squares that run across, so it makes it a whole lot easier to work some of this out. So we will do a waiting area. Now you can see that is marked as a waiting area. What we will also do is mark this section here as corridor. We will mark this section here as corridor, and we will mark this section here as corridor, like that. Now, as you can see, free area accessible to both staff and patients. Staff only area, patients must have permission or an invitation. So we will make sure that that area is like that. There you go. So the patients can walk freely on those corridor areas and around here. They can't go in here, and they can't go in here unless they are going in to see the doctor. So the other thing that we need to do is create a doctor's office, and that is in here. Let's just, there we go. And that's the doctor's office there, and the restroom, which is over here. So now that we have defined our areas, one of the beauties about this, and one of the things that I think is an absolutely brilliant game design feature, is that we can click on one of these areas, and as you will see, it shows up here what they have to have in a reception area, which is in the kind of more, I would call that, they call it in the tutorial orange, but I would more call that apricot. But I don't know whether that's my screen. I don't know whether it's my screen that's doing that. And these yellow areas are suggested, what you would have in a suggested sense. So what we need to do is, the first thing we need to do, and I am clicking my middle mouse button to rotate these, is we want to create our little reception desk. So we'll put those in. We shall put, let me see, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we might put one of those in there, one of those in there, and one of those in there. Then what we will do is we will put a couple of information ones in there, and that'll probably be where our receptionists sit. So that's the reception desk. Now they need only one PC. However, we're going to have probably 2 receptionists eventually, so we will put those in. We will give them 2 office chairs, one there and one there. And as I said, it's a bit of a problem that you can't rotate the camera. But you know, it is what it is, basically. So it's still not too bad. Sometimes when you're laying stuff out, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt, but that's okay. The other thing that we need in the reception area, well, we don't really need anything else, but what we probably want to do is give them some filing cabinets. So we shall give them a filing cabinet there and a filing cabinet there. We will give them a wall-mounted cabinet there and a wall-mounted cabinet there. What else would they like in there? Let's maybe throw in a card file and throw in just another cabinet. Now, the other thing to remember is that decoration does give bonuses to the appeal of areas and all that type of stuff. So that's always worth noticing, or always worth noting anyway. We probably want to put we'll probably put a big printer in here. Big printer is not going to fit in there, so maybe we will put a small printer in there, right next to that reception desk there. Now, if I right click, then that makes that disappear, and I am left clicking to place stuff. All right. The other thing that we want to do is we probably at this point in time want to put down our flooring for the reception area, and I feel like we are going to do something relatively fancy like that, which is the laminate flooring there. I know laminate is not as fancy as actual timber, but you know, we'll do it. I'm trying to be a little bit budget conscious. just for the sake of, I know that I could probably in any game like this spend a whole pile of time just absolutely killing it in regards to laying stuff out and putting decorations in and all that type of stuff. But I also know that I would probably completely and utterly destroy myself in the process, budget wise. So yeah, so anyway, and I did notice in that one tutorial that I did play that it did take a considerable amount of time for patients to go through, and I think there was like two patients in a day or something like that. Now, a patient you might get maybe $400-$500 out of, but that's about it. So that's worth noting. Now we will put some laminate floor through here as well. And let's see what we've got in regards to panels, flooring, light lino flooring, light colored tile. Let's put in let's see, GP's office. Let's put in a light colored tile. That'll do. And we will fill this area up. They don't seem to have any carpet or anything in there, so all of our floors are done. We put some white tile in there, so that's pretty good. So now what we can do is we can go back into this mode, and again we can click on reception there, and that's going to tell us whether we've got everything that we absolutely need, and we do. So that is the bare necessities at the moment. The other thing that I want to do, and this is just from a design perspective, mind you, is I want to go back into the old beigey. And I just want to put a little wall in there and a little wall in there as well. All right. We could probably put a, let's see, let's go back to here. Let's click on that area, and we could probably put a little bit of a water dispenser there if it'll fit, which it should do. Okay, that's a perfect place for a water dispenser or a cupboard. Either or, so we will put that in there. The next thing that we want to do is go back into here and figure out what we need in our waiting room. Now, none of this is absolutely necessary. I did notice in the tutorial that because I put in a queue machine, I couldn't put receptionists in for some reason. So I'm not sure I really want to put in a ticket machine. But what I do want to do is put in some benches for the pigeons to sit on. So let's go 1, 2 there. Let's spin that around and go 1, 2 there, and maybe we can put 1 there and 1 over here as well. All right, so that should be enough for that. The other thing that makes you money is a vending machine. Where patients and staff all buy snacks and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind putting one of those in, to be honest. And I'm going to put that right next to that chair there. Information television, we will put that up against this wall here where everybody can see it. I'm only going to put one of those in at the moment, so let's see. I think the reason that was blue is probably because the Info TV links to that, or that links to the Info TV. So it was probably a pointless waste of time putting that in. But hey, that's how we're going to do it. Let's see. So a little bit of decoration goes a long way. So I think we shall put in a. It'll certainly make reception staff feel a lot better, and it will certainly make our patients feel a lot better. So we'll put a couple of those in as well, which they will absolutely love. So that's a pretty good start there, I think. Yeah, I think it is. Let's see, what else have we got? I know that there's no sound running on the game. Normally you would have the music running in the background. Potted plant can only be placed indoors. Now you can hear the clicks happening and stuff like that when I'm placing things, but there's no constant sound going on in the background. All right, so the next thing is a hallway. This is just recommendations. You don't necessarily need any of this stuff here for a hallway. But what we might do is I might actually put a couple of seats in here. One there, one there. Just for the sake of putting them in. Coffee vending machine, possibly we'll put one of those in as well, because you know, doctors do need coffee as well, and coffee is a very important thing. The next thing that we will do is we will set up the toilets. We need at least one WC, which is easy to do, one there and one there, so we will put two of those in. In the walls, let's see, what color will we do them? Let's just do them, stick to the beige, and there's a restroom walls there. So what we might do is, I might have put those toilets in the wrong spot, to be honest. In fact, I think I did. So what I might do initially is I might get rid of those toilets. We'll get rid of that. We will get rid of that. I'm not sure how much we paid for those. Let's see. One and one there. Okay. We might put a wall in there for a cubicle. We'll put another wall in there for a cubicle, and another wall in there for a cubicle. And we will put, actually, I think they've got to come out a little bit further than that. I'm not sure whether they actually fit unless you bring them out further than that. So we'll grab those. We will go into doors, and you can see a WC door there. We will put a WC door in there. Let's see if we can just bring these back up again. Come on, come on. No, we don't want them in there. We want them in there. Which they're not allowing me to do, which means I've probably made those a little bit too small, I reckon. So let's go back into here. Let's go into delete walls and delete those again. So not working out too well at the moment, but that's okay. Let's see. Toilets. Let's just go into here and go like that. Let's put in the toilets. It is a bit hard to get some sort of distance working. Maybe we'll do 2 disabled toilets like that. Maybe that'll work. Let's get those. We'll do one there like that, and we will do one there like that. Okay, and run that through there, run that through there, and get our doors out there, and throw that door in there. Can we spin that around? Yes, we can. And put that one in there. Perfect. Okay, couple of little disabled toilets there. Let's put in, go back into here. It seems easier to go back into this mode because you've got everything there anyway. So let's put in, let's spin that around. We shall put two basins in there, one for each toilet. We will put a, we might put a plastic hamper in there. We will put a trash bin in here as well. We do need to put a couple of hand dryers on the walls right there. We didn't put a toilet door in, so we need to put a toilet door in, and I think we should put it right there. That should be okay. Do we need anything else? Let's have a look. Is there anything else that might be suggested? A mirror, yes, we probably need to put a couple of mirrors in. One there and one there. That should be okay. Don't think you can put them there. No, you can't. I can't really think of anything else that we could put in there for now. We probably can get another toilet in at some point. I mean, I could have put the basins over here and thrown another toilet in, but again, I want to be relatively budget conscious. So the other thing that I did notice in that tutorial that I did was everybody went to the toilet a lot. A lot of the staff went to the toilet quite a lot. So maybe if we don't provide toilets, they won't go to the toilets. All right, beautiful. So that's about it for that. What we need to do now is we need to, let me right click and get rid of that. We've got our reception area. They come in. This is the reception area. This is the waiting room. There's plenty of seats there. We've got one GP's office and one toilet block. And the blocks, you can't determine whether they're male or female anyway. So it sort of doesn't make any difference, like both male and female go in. So what we're going to do now is I am going to leave this episode here as episode number 1 because I don't want to make these too long. And when we come back in episode 2, I will we will set up our doctor's office, employ some staff, and get this GP's office running. And eventually expand it right through here, have an emergency department, have other areas. As you can see down here, there's all different departments, an intensive care unit, a general surgery. There is a radiology, which I think is probably a really good one to have because you always get, like GP offices always get people with broken bones and stuff like that. Medical laboratories, intensive care, general surgery, internal medicine department, which is what this is, I think, is classed as, cardiology, neurology. That's an administrative department, which we will be able to do at some point, and a pathology department, which is probably, I reckon radiology and pathology are probably really good places to start, as well as probably at some point having a pharmacy in there. So all right, guys, I will see you in the next episode. If you want to see more of this series, let me know. Just drop a comment. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and please, it would be really cool if you could hit like on this video as well. The likes and the subs help out a lot and help me to bring out even more content. So it would be great if you could do that. I will see you in the next episode of Project Hospital. Thanks for watching this one, guys, and I will see you later.